Is the rest of the reading seems pretty on point though. Um, and we had this nullified high, i.e., like we went up, made this price point, and then it's irrelevant, made irrelevant by all this behavior here. Behavior into the low is a prominent move higher, and then a full retracement of that move. It looks like even a little bit more into it. Either that, or we have a pop higher and then we go lower into the close, which is a possibility because we've got this low correlation here. So we had our first low about 10:45, and then we had this failed attempt to break through resistance with this fast sudden move higher, failed attempt to break through resistance, and then a decline through that support. Defeat card. Looks like the strength card was a little, usually you see a bigger move for the strength card, but it's not going to happen every time. It's kind of like combined into the Princess of Wands, which is opportunity to close a long position, or in this case, it looks like to open a short position. And you should be able to close that short position. Matter of fact, it looks like we may have already had the opportunity, but in the last hour, we should have this rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. It is, however, mixed with the Prince of Wands and then the Prince of Cups, which are like opposite cards. So we probably see some pretty mixed behavior right around the close. The fact that we've already seen a low here, this right here could be the low that is indicated by the low correlation at the end of the day here, or it could be that right at the end of the day we have a low. It seems to me like probably this was a low. I think I see what happened. So we rally along diagonal trend line, increasing with momentum. Fast sudden move higher ends that rally, break down through the diagonal trend line, increasing momentum to the downside as we go into the post market. Yeah, see, and this Ace of Wands here, very, very toppy kind of card. I'm going to check out the AMC reading that we did in 2023. Or for 2023, I should say. So I'm getting ready to do a 2024. The AMC reading was created on October 13th, 2022 at 8:03 p.m. Eastern Time. You want to come down, Hermes? You got on the bed by yourself. Come here, little guy. Come here, good boy. All right, so there's October 13, 2022 at 8:03 p.m. So basically a year ago today. We're going to take a look and see how it's panned out thus far. I hope it's a good one. I haven't looked. Year to date. Oof. Look at that. Man, look at that drop. Oof. So we have a lowest low in October. Based on, so if you're not familiar with ESO meta-analysis spreads, guys, let me explain real quick. So these cards going horizontally across the screen here, the double, like there's two and then there's another two, and then we have it again down here. These are what you call timeline cards. Each cluster of 4 cards represents 1 month out of the year going from left to right. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. But then we have overall like a highest high kind of significator and a lowest low significator, as well as overall theme, which is pretty like sidewaysy mixed throughout the year. With a failed attempt to break through resistance that we would have expected to break through. It looks like it could have been there, followed by a decline through key support, and that looks like it took place here. But we have a low correlation for October Like many of the other stocks that we've looked at for 2023, they're in September, October, except maybe, I think maybe Amazon or Apple. I'm not sure which one, I forget. One of them has a low in November. Um, it looks like I had, at the time of this reading, I may have had difficulty determining where the exactly where the highest high is, but I had a prominent crust in January, a prominent crust in February. We have this peak, which, reading it now a year later with like a year's worth of more experience doing 1 years and reading them, this is a high right here. And you can see right there in March we have this high. Then we have a prominent crust in May, you can see again. Prominent crest in June, or sorry, in July. And a sharp drop. It looks like on the cusp of July and into August, we have this sharp drop and this opportunity in early August to open up a short position. And you can see how that played out, guys. Pretty solid. You would have made some serious money there. What's interesting is that the high in July also offers opportunity to open up a long position on like a multi-month kind of scale, indicating that we'll be above this price level probably before the end of the year. Yeah, we had this peak for the low in August. We had this peak that we sold off from through multiple support levels. Side rotation in early. So we're in the period of sideways rotation here. This is kind of like what, if you look at this right here in September, we have sideways rotation. And then the peace card, which is kind of like a resistance that we move sideways to like kind of flat behavior. You can see pretty much the month of November, or excuse me, September was pretty much flat for the most part. So we should see a low here in October, and then out of oversold territory, a big move to the upside. Sometimes an Ace of Swords can indicate a highest high, and you got to combine with the Princess of Swords. It may be that it's a midpoint between a high and a low here. But there should be a pretty big move towards the end of October or early November, maybe both, to the upside out of this low. This is like a short squeeze kind of card here, or a big move from out of oversold territory. Sometimes it means a gap up. So it might be that we fill a gap. We could possibly fill a gap here in October. To see any more detail, I'd have to do a 1 month, which we don't currently do for AMC. But this is looking like a really solid reading thus far, guys. And again, it was done a year ago, still being used today. By the end of the year, when we're using this this significantly accurate reading, at the end of the year, it'll be over a year ago that it was created, guys. October 22nd, I think I said. October 13th. But I would say that that's a pretty solid one. So I'm going to get into the AMC 2024 one and get that out, at least a public version, get that out for you guys relatively soon. Just so you guys are aware, we no longer will give away the entire year's worth of information. We're just tired of not seeing, reciprocation as much as we should. I mean, we see a lot, but it's like 5%. So with that said, we give away the first 3 months of the year on a 1 year now. Everything else will be pretty much covered. The benefit, the upside is that I'll talk about trades in that 3 month period, so you can get a taste of what the trades are like. So look out for that AMC one coming up pretty soon. Hey AV, hey Robert, hey Tabraze. Do I see this week bearish or end of week we might turn up bullish to retest 4331? These are pretty solid. I mean, these lines were created a long time ago, guys. These weren't created here, but you can see how they're going up and down. So if you don't know much about technical analysis, guys, the best way to utilize SO meta analysis is in conjunction with technical analysis. Basically, what we're predicting with SO meta analysis is the chart behavior or the technical analysis behavior. So if you understand technical analysis, it's definitely beneficial. It's not just beneficial, it like makes SO meta even more effective. It's like crazy. It's like having everybody's dealing with an XYZ equation. Technical analysis is the X. Everybody in the world is dealing with just an X, knowing what the value of X is and trying to figure out what Z is. SO meta is the Y, right? So you can try and figure out what the Z is with just the Y, and you're going to get a lot of the timing right, but you won't be able to get price levels for the most part. Price levels are with the X. So if you use technical analysis X and SO meta analysis Y, and you have the values of both, finding Z becomes extremely easy, and Z would be like pinpointing a price and a location on a chart. I wouldn't say extremely easy, but it becomes possible, we'll say. So technical analysis, guys, the support and resistance is a really fundamental aspect of technical analysis. Support is a price level that it's an imaginary line on a chart that a price will like be held above. So if it meets that, it bounces off of it and moves to the upside, or it bounces along it but doesn't really break through, maybe momentarily. That's considered support. Right, and the same thing goes for resistance, except it's to the upside. So when we bump up against it and we move away, that's resistance. There's no like right support and resistance. It's not like on this chart they were already drawn for me. I pick them based on what I see on the chart, so it's very kind of like subjective in that regard. So 431, anyways, that's a little bit about technical analysis, guys. Where's 431? Oh, 433, excuse me. Is that price level right there? Oh, and we can review Mercury retrograde too. I don't know what this line is. So look at that, guys. Okay, before I answer further, guys, I want you guys to see this. This is Mercury retrograde, guys. So these brown vertical lines indicate the three phases of Mercury retrograde. So basically, in the time span of each like section of this three section time frame, right? First section, second section, third section. We move from one end of this in the sky to the other, like a part of the sky. We move from one end of it to the other end, and then back through it again to back to the original end. And then by the time we're here, we move back to the other end again. So we go through the same area of the sky 3 times. And what happens is in the shadow period, the chart behavior that you have here in the shadow period, which is the first period or the period number 1 of a three period retrograde. The chart behavior is mirrored in period number 3. Not exact, but pretty solid. And you can see we had like this down, like a significant drop at the start, some sideways behavior, another big drop, and it's not going to be exact, but then we meet this important price level, or you could say just a little bit above the 100-day moving average, and then we have like a rebound into the end of that first period of time. What do we have here? We have a big drop at the start, sideways behavior, a big drop, another big drop, and then we rebound here into the end of the period. I mean, that's like a perfect example. This happens in Mercury retrograde every single time. Not every single time, maybe like 95% of the time you'll see this transpire. And what's also interesting is you get kind of a similar thing going on. This isn't the best example because weekends can really throw the pattern off a little bit. Each piece has missing components of the pattern. But in any case, it's kind of like a reverse. We move to the downside, then there's a big move higher, another move higher, then sideways behavior, and then we have this pop to the upside. It was the reverse, basically, of this behavior, and that's Mercury retrograde. So 431 or 433. I mean, it is possible. It's possible, but unlikely that we're going to see that price level because we basically made our highest high here. We might revisit highest highs or see slightly higher highs there. So if we were going to see that price level, it would be at the end of the week. But there is some conflicting stuff going on. This indicates that there's a decline here between the 4th and the 5th before we move higher on the 5th. The futility card indicates decline. You've got this prominent trough, and this big move to the downside off of a peak or crest. The Ace of Wands is a very bearish indication as well. So I don't know if I'd be playing around with a bullish position right now. The trade core, the only real trade here, until the end of the week, there's an opportunity to open up a short position or close a long position here. Obviously, open a short position here on the 2nd. Not much as far as trade correlators until the very end of the month, the week here. It's possible that there's a low right at the end of the day. It's kind of hard to say because of the placement of this coin's a little. It's a difficult placement to determine. Yeah, it's pretty tricky. I'm not sure I would want to bet on a bullish position there. It's possible. It could happen. But it's pretty tricky. And looking at the ESO meta-analysis, to me, it seems like maybe it's kind of risky. Is the 4th going to have a big drop? Some Astro guys are telling me. It might be the 4th. There's a big drop here I have indicated by the 3rd. So it's possible that ends up being on the 4th because... the 1 month's day-by-day chart behavior, not each card's energy is going to line up perfectly with one day of time, which on a 1 month, these are the timeline cards going across. Each one is a day, 1 day, trading day, and then we go across again, right? So not each card's energy is going to line up perfectly with 1 day at a time. For the most part, the time is going to be on point, but you have to give it a little wiggle room and follow the sequence of events. So it's possible that we have a sharp drop on the 4th, but I have it indicated here off of this like peak that we made here today, there was opportunity to open up a short position before a trough tomorrow. And then the completion card is from the standpoint of a theme card, it's usually pretty mixed. And what I mean by theme card is this card right here is kind of indicating overall trend direction on the 4th in the sequence of events. And the completion card's kind of mixed. It's rally and then it's a decline, like it's the end of a rally. So it's a mixed card there, and it does indicate some decline into like the early morning on the 5th. I also saw something about a government alert on everybody's cell phones on the 4th, and how it's going to be some sort of mind control. So if I get a government alert on the 4th, I'm not complying. But that, we'll see if that actually happens. I saw that, Robert. I appreciate it. Hey, Proof. Hey, Robert. Oh, I said hi to Robert. Hey, Proof. Hey, it was luck. Is it going to be a downtrend for Bitcoin today? Excuse me. Yeah, see, this yellow correlation here is in the midst of a rally. The beginning of the day, there's opportunity to open up a short position or close a long position before it looks like a pretty notable decline into a trough here. Oh, this could be a lowest low here as well. I don't know. This is a little interesting. This is the placement of this is difficult. This could be a peak or a peak on the 17th, or it could be a trough on the 1st, or it could be both. It's difficult to determine. But it does look like we end up into a decline here. It's possible that this was a high as well for the month. There's some possibility of it. A stronger possibility here towards the end of the month, that it might be that we see a high here and then another high. Oh, I got to use TradingView. I forgot. Yeah, see, pretty significant move there. That's the wealth card there, that move right there. And then the wealth card, it's a move that happens first. You have sideways rotation establishing support, then a prominent move higher, and then you have sideways rotation establishing support at a higher price level. So it looks like that's what we're kind of doing. But the thing is that we've got the two of discs here, or excuse me, the ace of discs here. The ace of discs indicates a lot of price change and an important support. It doesn't determine. It's usually to the downside, but there are cases where we're talking about newer, like a new support at a higher price level. Sometimes the ace of discs will indicate, but usually it's to the downside. We have a trough there as well. Ace of cups is very bottomy. It looks like we're going to be playing around with the bottom here over the next 2 weeks, kind of dancing around near a bottom. So I would expect a bit of a decline into a trough at the end of the day on the 2nd, most likely. Okay. Do I think that the bond market will nuke more than the stock market? I mean, let's see. Ooh, okay. I don't have the markup for this, so this isn't a completed reading. But this is the TLT 1 year for 2023, and there is some generalized information here. There's possibility of a bottom here. Like this is a bit this is the October cluster of the 1 year for 2023 TLT, and there's a big decline. This is the biggest decline card in the deck, the Universe card. So big decline in early October. We attempt to establish support near the high, so there's some sideways rotation around the high. The low is an important price level on a multi-year scale. A multi-year scale. So let's see here. We're already in like a multi-year kind of important price level. Interesting. Wow. You sure it hasn't nuked already? So it could be this 82 price level here. Let's see. Yeah, TLT's gonna meet $82 there, based on this multi-year, and we're looking for an important technical price level. If we don't bottom out here, right, because this is technically an important on a multi-year scale, we're already at an important technical price level. I'd say we probably already broke through it. It was like right here. Let's mark that off. Roughly like $90, right? So there's another important price level here. And since we broke through it, my sense is that we probably meet that price level in the bond market, and there's really not much lower to go in TLT, I should say. And then it's pretty mixed in 2024 based on the change card. We should see a lot of back and forth, but overall sideways kind of fluctuations. Looks like there's a bigger decline in early November for TLT, actually. I think we probably have an early low in October, and then we move to the upside and attempt to establish support at a higher price level. Doesn't work out, and by like the cusp there of October, November, we should see a pretty significant decline. By the end of November, there's a decline back to revisit a support level that we met before. So we probably see whatever this price level is here at the low, we probably see it again. It would make sense as well because the low for November is forms from a prominent move higher and then a full retracement, right? So we could go prominent move higher out of the low of October and then a full retracement back into the low, revisiting the same support back into the low here in November. That's what it looks like to me. The bond market anyways, or TLT. Hey, B. Hey, Round Earth. Appreciate it, AV. Is Apple going to sell off in October? Okay, so this is the one that was a little. I was trying to remember which one I didn't. That had the November kind of deviates from. The November readings all have a very similar kind of pattern. Most of the Octobers do as well, from the standpoint of 1 months and from the standpoint of 1 years. But the Apple one deviates, whereas most of the 1 years we see a lowest low in October. It looks like we have a lowest low for Apple on the cusp of November, December. Possibly December. That death card is really looking like a significant adding to that. Yeah, there's a pretty notable sell-off here. And it's following a similar pattern to the other Octobers. We have multiple places where we might have a top here in the first 2 weeks, and then we go into lows in the last 2 weeks. It's looking pretty solid. My October and November readings, guys, I feel very strongly about their accuracy. I just, you know when you do a good job and when it's kind of iffy. I feel pretty solid about October and November readings. September, I nailed almost all of the Septembers. I think SPC was off, and SPY was like, whoa, a disaster. Sorry, guys, it happens occasionally. I mean, that was like, whew, really bad one. Top 5 worst monthlies I've done. That was September SPY. All right, so I think so. We're going to see more sell-off throughout October for Apple. Hey, Randy. Hey, it was luck. What is the general trend direction for Meta this week? And when do you reckon altcoins will bottom if they have not already? Cheers. Getting ready to start December readings. So this one's got a sharp drop. I would be very careful about Meta this week. Let's look at the chart. Yeah, see, like a rally bumping along resistance. And that's what we've got. We have this rally bumping along resistance, right? Sideways along resistance. That's the Valor card. So this rally ends, it's halted, I should say, with a sharp decline, which takes place on the 3rd, and then an unexpected move to the upside. And it looks like that unexpected move to the upside offers opportunity to open up a short position or close a long position in Meta. There's a pretty sharp drop here to a lowest low, or a lowest low thus far, here on the 4th, 5th, possibly revisiting it on the 5th and on the 6th even. It's possible, but It's a little unclear because there's so much going on here between the 4th, 5th, and there's probable location. I mean, there's a prominent peak in here too. So there's a lot going on. I would definitely be very careful this week with Meta. If we see a pretty sharp drop tomorrow into like a trough at the end of the day, I would probably open up a long position and close that long position when we have this like unexpected move to the upside. But I want to wait for that sharp drop first, guys. I don't want to enter a long position if I haven't seen that sharp drop then. And don't be surprised if there's more than one, because it could happen. There's a lot going on here. And then I would look to open up a short position in the midst of a move higher, somewhere around the 5th, 6th, after the sharp drop, a big move higher. And in the midst of that, I would look to open up, or I would look to close a close a long position and open a short position. When do you reckon altcoins will bottom if they have not already? You want to go down, Hermes? All right, so we're looking at SHIB, Doge, Chainlink, XRP. We should open up Bitcoin too. Looks like Bitcoin's bottomed out. Where did it go? XRP. It looks like XRP's bottomed out pretty much here. Might see a little bit of a decline in the first part of October. I'd have to look closer at the 1 months, but it looks like we're near a bottom there. Bottom for Link around September, October. Bottom for, you see how these line up, guys? Bottom in September, October for Doge. Bottom in September, October for SHIB. So we're at bottoms, or we're near bottoms here, guys. Ace of Discs is a very bottomy card as well. Are you saying that It Was Luck is this person? It Was Luck's been around for a while. It's not. It's not the person we recently banned. When do you see SPC leveling out? Oops, I haven't released that one yet. I got the 10-year for the S&P 500 coming out soon. If it hasn't come out already, it's coming out soon. It's so annoying when it does that. It's following the same pattern as all these other Octobers that we've looked at. Right, where we've got highs here in the first week, like multiple possible places where we see the highest high here in the first week, and then we get into a low in the third week and a low in the fourth week, like many of the other ones. A lot of the other ones also have a high over here. I'm not seeing anything as far as a high there. It doesn't mean it's not there, but I'm not seeing anything stand out really. There's a fast sudden move higher here around the 12th. But we would bottom out here towards the end of the month, and then we're definitely, like, there's going to be a highest high within close time proximity to SPC. I'm looking at SPY, SPC. There we go. That's more like it. So we have a lowest low here in October. it gets really wild here in October, November, December because we've got like a highest high here probably in November. When you have these like two aces stacked on top of each other, like there's a ton of price change that's going to take place here towards the end of October, and then you've got the devil card, which indicates like a fake out on a like a 1 year scale chart. I pulled the oppression card and I pulled the devil card again, trying to get clarity. Let's see. Yeah, there's like a pop and drop in there. Pretty notable pop and drop. Is LLY still on track to fill the gap in October? Yeah, it does. It looks like it's going to fill the gap here in October. I got a yes for that. Do I think gold could pick up tomorrow? A bit bullish. Yikes. Oy, oy, oy. So I would say we would hit this price level at least. The 168.52 on GLD. Hermes, you're on my mouse, buddy. Come here, you goofball. I know, you just want to snuggle next to me, right? You just want to sit next to me? I know, I love you too. I know. I love you too. Thanks for the kisses. Thank you for the kisses, Hermes. Okay, enough kisses. Enough kisses. Thank you. Tomorrow's overall trend direction for gold. It's really mixed, but I think more to the downside. I would look for this price level. This is an important price level, 168.50-ish. You're welcome, AV. All right, I'm going to do a recap of SPY, and then I'm going to roll, guys. So during this live, guys, we looked at a bunch of one-year readings. So if you're interested in getting a ticker or crypto covered on a one-year scale for 2024, you can do 2023, but there's only like 3 months left. I would say 2024 is probably more advisable. You go to our services on our website, tarotfortraders.com. Our services, SO Meta Posts. Scroll down to 1 year report, and all you got to do is specify the year. Well, you gotta sign up, which is free, and then once you're logged in, you specify the year and the ticker or crypto symbol that you're interested in. And it's a great way to support the channel. We have pretty insane accuracy on these 1 years. For the most part, we're not right all the time, but we're right a lot of the time, you know. So sorry, it's funny. It's funny that we don't even have 2,000 viewers, guys. You understand how lucky you are? I'm sure you guys do, to be the few people in the world that have found this. Nobody else has this accuracy. If you're new, you'll see. All right, so the S&P 500. Also, we've got a bunch of November. The November dailies come out. They're going to come out a little like squished together in YouTube this month because we were a little bit behind. But the November dailies come out for early access on our website Over the next 2 days, you'll see a bunch of November dailies coming out. The way that you get early access, guys, our services, SO Meta Posts, and it's right here, early access to our posts, $29 a month, $249 for the year. Great way to support the channel. Also, really good way to intro support. But what's most importantly, make sure that when you profit from this information, guys, you follow the rule of karma. We just banned somebody for not following the rule of karma, for asking questions every single day for like over a year. Trading questions, exit questions, intro questions. You know, and it was always that, it was always I'm underwater, and it wasn't even like necessarily one of the trades that I advised. A lot of the time it wasn't. But the point is like they're either underwater all the time, in which case they shouldn't be trading anyways, or they're lying about being underwater all the time because they don't want to, you know, pay a 5% rule of karma, which frankly is just ridiculous. You know, so they're gone. And the reason why they were probably continuously getting losing trades, guys, guarantee you, is because they had plenty of opportunity to follow through on the rule of karma, did not do it, put it off, and the universe shut off that flow of abundance to the individual. Not only that, but then I came along and realized I was done being used. I'm a cardinal sign. If you guys know much about cardinal signs here, especially Libra rising, in the month of October, we're in the I don't give a fuck, not to be fucked with, excuse my French, mode of life right now. All right, so let's take a look. Right, so we had this rally into the close, okay, increasing with the momentum as we move with the fast sudden move higher, ending that rally. And then we should see decline in the post-market here. It's kind of hard to determine exactly where we're opening here. Oh, that's SPC. Excuse me. Yeah, so there's really not much for trade opportunity. The trade opportunity, it looks like, was here, right? Now, if we do have a higher price level tomorrow, then I would say that's the trade opportunity, because it's not always right on the day. Sometimes it's off a day here or there. We had this move to the upside. We had this big move to the downside. So it's, you know, we'll see what we do tomorrow, but there should be a sharp decline either off of the peak from today or off of another peak tomorrow. What I don't like about these ruins right here, guys, and why I'm kind of iffy about getting into a bullish position, is because this right here is weighing me down. This is very bearish right here. And this ruin itself, this is one of those black highlighted ruins. It indicates not to be misled somehow. That's what makes me a little iffy about that. But I would probably want to be in a short position based on what's transpired. I would have liked to have gotten into it. Around 11, but more so, it looks like we had this opportunity here. This was a day trade opportunity. In the midst of this rally, I'm not sure why we picked this one, but we did. In the midst of this rally higher, there's opportunity to open up short position, close that short position in the next hour. Interesting. This one might have, if you got into a long position here first thing in the morning, this might have really kind of like tricked you up a bit with what was going on here. I think overall it's pretty mixed. We may see the high again throughout the week, especially possibility of it at the end of the week. It's possible, guys, but overall, like, this was probably the high here in the morning, right here. I'm gonna mark this off on a one, so it comes up on the 1 month. Tomorrow's is a mixed day as well, but I think overall probably want to be in a bearish position by the Ace of Cups. And we've got Ace of Swords energy tomorrow as well. That's important to point out. So a lot of price change, probably Ace of Discs here. A lot of price change on the scale of a one-day chart. And this is a cross-reading. I didn't do the cross-reading congruencies, but this is a cross-reading congruency right here on the 4th, I think. Because on the 3rd we have it. That's a cross-reading congruency. So the decline, the sharp decline, it looks like, is really on the 4th. The Empress in the high position there indicates we see the high again, most likely. But I think probably I would want to be in a short position going into the close tomorrow. I want to be in a short position overnight there. Excuse me. And if there's opportunity the following day, first thing in the morning, to close that short position, which there may very well be, I would do so. And then I'd probably open up another short position when we meet a resistance level here between like 10 and 12 somewhere. But overall, like tomorrow, it's really mixed, guys. There's trades here, but this is kind of tricky. I'd probably just wait to get into a short position here. At a peak or crest somewhere around 1 to 2 o'clock, probably closer to 2. You could try, this might be a little risky, but in the midst of a sideways fluctuating decline into a low at the open, you could open up a long position, hold that long position until that peak or crest towards the early afternoon there. But it's a tricky trade because there's some real mixed behavior going on here. And in any case, that's tomorrow's trades. Guys, make sure to follow that rule of karma. I think I probably left out where to do that, but it's super important that you do that, guys, because if you don't follow this, when you make money from a trade utilizing this information, if you don't follow this, the universe is going to lose its patience really, really fast. And once it's shut off, how do you get it turned back on? You had the opportunity. It's not like there's some way to, like, reverse it, you know? She learned the hard way, the person that got banned. But, you know, make sure to do it, because 5% of the profit should be donated to one of these charities. If you follow through on this, guys, you're one of the 5% in the world, based on the population of our channel. One of 5% of the people in the world that actually does what's right. God bless you. And then 5% of the profits should be donated back to the channel here through one of these links. Wise is if you're an international, and you click here on Wise, I think it probably gives you a discount. Fee-free transfer, yeah. If you use this link. And this, I've had somebody international send money through Wise before, so I know that it's legit. I know that it works. It's a great way to send money if you're international. And then we also have this Webull link. If you're interested in opening a brokerage account, Webull's free. It's a great platform, much better than Robinhood. We both get free shares if you sign up through that link. Hey, Deduct. All right, my friends. That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. As always, follow that rule of karma. God bless everybody.